our faith. If you could expand a bit about this very moment and the shofar, or whatever you would like to say about that, that scene, Echi, that
Yes, yes. I would
thank
love
you.
to. But would you be kind and read Good morning, Cindy? We're happy to see you here. Would you be kind and read us just the lyrics?
I'd
Because
love
for
to.
yeah,
Yes.
because people here it's the first time they hear. There's a new song about Abraham, and Felipe composed it. And please read the poem and then the song, and then ask the question again that we could open. Yes.
Yes, I would love to read the words. Let me just find it.
Yeah, I put it on the chat here in the
Oh, that's great.
conversation. On the right, you see the text.
Yes, just one moment. Okay. Okay. Uh, okay, let's go. Adamant is Abraham, completely self-possessed. He looks at heaven's shiny stars, for children he might have. From Ur of the Chaldees he left, with Sarah wife, and Lot. He's both wise and innocent. He questions quite a lot. Adamant is Abraham, completely self-possessed. He wants it all and wants it now, forever on his quest. To the heavens in the storm he shouts and then complains. To me you gave no seed at all. My servant will sustain. Adamant is Abraham, completely self-possessed. He speaks to God as if a man, and never stops to rest. The famine came in veils of dust. To Egypt they drew near. Abraham stood by the gate, while Sarah walked all ear. Self-possessed is Abraham completely. Once he heard an inner voice playing in his head. See me on the mountain's throne, like lovers we shall wed. Self-possessed is Abraham completely. To the mountain then he went, with wood and fire glow. At dawn with roses, Isaac's son, a place no one should go. He stood there with a knife, the altar made of stone, and Isaac lay there silently, as if the light had known. And from the thicket stranger's sound, a ram with horns appeared. To Abraham's mind the music came, the truth is bright and clear. Do not touch the boy, O Abraham, do not harm him more. The boy is not an object, no, he is not your son at core. So spoke the angel Michael that moment on the mount. And Abraham, quite shaken, resumed his holy hunt. He took the ram and slaughtered it instead of Isaac's son. The horn remains his ever flute. A new fate has begun.
Thank you so much, Felipe. When like a song like this comes, it comes, and I was polishing it one morning. Once it came almost as a full text. I was just writing, serving the song, writing it. At night, I was like tuning it with a guitar to hear how does it sound with a guitar, that everything will be like the menorah one piece. And I noticed that when I'm singing it with a guitar, there's like new few spots that I could polish. And the next morning, I set to polish the few spots. One of them was the last verse that Felipe was asking. Felipe, can you ask again now about the last verse, because everybody we're hearing could hear the poem? Can you ask again the question? We shall be delighted.
Okay. Um, Many aspects about this song were very interesting and kind of new to me. Uh, and in the very ending, it mentions that, let me take the words. Okay. He took the ram and slaughtered it instead of Isaac's son. That part we know, it's very out of self-explained in the Torah. But the two last lines, the horn remains his ever flute, a new fate has begun, meaning in that very moment the shofar tradition became alive, and it was the, let's say, the starting point of uh, the Torah. Let's say it was the starting point of Hebrew tradition. And about this, I would like to hear what Eti has to say.
Thank you. Only after polishing it, I notice it, because the horn became his flute. Like we blow in it's like it's just emptiness. When we blow the horn, there's a sound. When we blow the flute, there's a sound. So in this case, the horn and the flute, it's just, both of them are just vessels. They are just empty. This is emptiness. Non-duality is emptiness. Good morning, Jill. The interesting thing that only hours after I sent you the song with this version, it came to me that flute in Hebrew, we say khalil. This is khalil. Khalil is a flute from halal. Halal is a space. Halal is space. With yod, khalil, this is flute. So spacey instrument. Khalil is a spacey instrument. Halal, space, with yod, khalil, this is flute. The interesting thing that in Arabic they call the city of Hebron Al-Khalil. It's interesting because in Hebrew it sounds like Hebron, like chaver, friend, gathering, connecting, coming together. In Arabic, Al-Khalil. And Khalil, it sounds in Hebrew like a flute. In Arabic, it means the friend. So in Arabic, Abraham is defined as Khalil Allah, meaning the friend of God. And this spot, when emptiness, whether it's the emptiness of the horn or emptiness of the flute, that enables everything. At this point, in a way, from this perspective of this area, everything starts from emptiness. Without emptiness, nothing can come. And the communication is always through emptiness, because emptiness is all there is. The sense of entity that is very much expressed here in the song is the entity of someone, of a father, of a husband. And this is why the sages say that this binding of Isaac was the last, how do you say, trial, because Abraham has to cross through like 10 tests, and this was the last one. Because it is expressed in it, and I would like to hear you or everyone who would like to already read or listen to the poem, to the song. There's a lot of sense of I'm here. He complains, you did not give seed to me. My helper, my assistant will remain. There are few. There's a way that the song goes and shows us what is happening there. And the last moment of the binding is just negates everything. Negates that Abraham is the father and Isaac is the son, that there is a need to sacrifice someone or something. Sacrifice, we say in English. In Hebrew, korban. Korban, from karov, להתקרב, to get closer. Why there's a need to sacrifice, or in Hebrew, to get closer? Are we far? It is only the mental activity, the thinking mechanism that sends us all kinds of stories and scenarios like we are far and we need to get closer. And this is also what the mental activity says. It tells us that there's a father and there's a son, there's before and there's after. And in the binding of Isaac, there's like, stop, quit on it. You're not the father, he's not the son, nobody needs it. You are deluded. You are deluded. And everything sits on the horn, on the emptiness. We don't tend to see ourselves as empty, but there is emptiness. Like we were mentioning in the last conversation is about the bottle. The bottle is empty. If you put wine in it, it will look red, and we shall say it's a wine. If the wine was let's say symbolizing a mood like heaven, if you put inside this emptiness, this glass bottle, orange juice, it will be just smiling and happy. Or oil, it will look green, olive oil. So what we also like these glasses bottles, we are empty. Whatever comes inside, we feel like it. We are not owners. We are not the owners of the feeling. What comes on this background of emptiness, which is inside, will be manifest in colors, in sentiment, in thoughts, but this is not ours. We're just empty. And this is in this point, was the communication in this binding of Isaac. And this is the melting point of which everything begins or began. This is only emptiness, what you think. And this is, in a way, if we open it even more, Abraham is the 20th generation from Adam, the correction of Adam. And on every step on the way, there's like showing him it's not what you think. You're a great astrologer, astronomer. You quest everything, you want to know everything, and slowly all this sense of I know I would like to become a great father, the father of nations, everything just get empty. It is about emptiness. Do you understand, Felipe?
Yes, it is a great teach, great teaching, because uh, one might think, I mean, we used to think that Abraham uh, did this sacrifice, or was he was available for doing this sacrifice, like thinking that he's so um, how could I say, he's so devoted to God that he might even give his only son, uh, and and this is why he's so great, because he puts God above his let's say personal likeness. But when you see in this other, and for me really more profound and truthful way, that he he's in lack of better words, that I would say this, he's put in his place, let's say. He realized there is no such a thing as this hierarchy of ownership by the fathers, and it's like, you lose everything, uh, and in this losing everything, in this opening this space, there is the truth, and it is not it's not easy to, to it's not it's not piece of cake, to to see that everything you build just vanishes. But this is the relief. This is the great relief. This is the teshuvah, the turning back to the source. And this is really beautiful. It
Most welcome. Questions, Yanis, Jill, new friend Cindy, Abigail. Good to see you, Abigail. Good morning. Any question that you would like to ask? Binding of Isaac is quitting the idea that we know something, that we think that we have certain relations to others, and it's not.
it is just a simple question. Might be in the midrashim, or even in the Torah, and don't remember. But I was just curious about uh, the shofar. It's in the tradition that it was, uh, let's say, brought by Abraham in this moment, or it isn't said any in the midrashim, in the texts by the sages.
Very good question. Usually, the binding of Isaac is mentioned in Rosh Hashanah. It has to do with Rosh Hashanah every year, because you can ask why The binding of Isaac is happening. This is quite interesting. A very good question. Isaac is born in the spring. His birth was in the spring. Yes, like in Passover. And the binding of Isaac was in Rosh Hashanah, in the autumn. Yes, according in the spring and in autumn, the binding. Why the binding? Because not just what happens in Rosh Hashanah, that we're starting a new year, we're counting, so to speak, the birth of another year, another slice of time. And in time, what happens to the brain? The brain says there is a process. What was here before and what is now, so the brain can calculate. So the binding of Isaac is happening in Rosh Hashanah. And what is the binding of Isaac? The relation between father and son, because what people say usually, the father proceed to the son. The father came before the son and the son came after. This is how we look at things linearly when there's like the sense of space and time, the process. And the binding of Isaac happens when? Specifically in this point, when, so to speak, a new slice of time has come to manifest it, or a new year is being born. Specifically in this point, it says it's not what you think, what you perceive, and as time and space does not exist. This is illusion. Therefore, if you read the Torah, when Moses is telling them that in the 7th month, because there's from the coming of Egypt, from the Exodus, they're starting to count from the spring, from Passover. And he says in the 7th month, it will be to you the memorial of remembering the horn. It's not yet called Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year, the beginning of the year in the Torah. There is no, the term Rosh Hashanah will come later, only when the Romans, in the time of the Romans, historically, like more than 1,000 years later, Rosh Hashanah. But the Torah has this term, Zichron Teruah, the memorial or the remembering of the horn. Like when distinguished guest is coming, usually people play the trumpet or the horns to say do 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 do. Somebody's like new coming from the unseen or the unknown to the manifested area. So there's like trumpeting also, of any kinds of sound. Sometimes they're drumming to announce that distinguished guest is coming. So before it was named Rosh Hashanah, it was named Zichron Torah, remembering of the horn, remembering of the emptiness, because without emptiness, nothing can exist. So the horn is associated with the binding of Isaac, with the beginning or counting of time. Did I answer your question, Felipe?
Yes, Eti. Yes. Thank you.
Any other question? Yanis, Jill, new friend, Cindy, Abigail. Usually the new year, let's say, starts in the autumn. And this is the time of harvesting of the grapes of the vine. And usually in the autumn, the trees are losing the leaves, everything. The days are getting shorter. The light hours are getting shorter, and everything just preparing for the next season, let's say, for the winter. And this season is like, in a way, manifest the expulsion of Adam and Eve from the Garden of Eden. In the Garden of Eden, there is no space and time, there is no process, there's only being. But once we start to believe that there is a space and time, all kinds of distortions appearing in our uh, mind or brains or storytelling. Is it understood that those connections? Because it's not just about Adam and Eve and the Garden of Eden, this is also about us. The expulsion or leaving the Garden of Eden is to leave this because there's all the time being. Being does not need process in time. Being does not need effort like breathing. Yes, it happens to us naturally all the time. There's air coming. So this is like being. We don't need to prepare for being. We don't need to make few steps. It's not like when we manufacture. Let's say we build a cabinet from wood. We have to go to buy wood and nails. It's not a process in time. Being is always there. It's unconditional, even when we sleep. So what is the expulsion of the Garden of Eden, which everyone experienced? This story about the self, which is barely does not barely does not exist. The being is all the time, but the but we always this narration that comes from the brain all the time. This mental activity always said there's something else. It's about me and my story, and I was born in such and such date, and my name is like that, and I'm a teacher, I'm an engineer, whatever. This is the expulsion. The self story, the self made story is the expulsion, basically. Because there's a denial of being. Once there's a story, there's a name, da 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 da, CV, and I believe to this, we take it as truth. There's a denial of the being. Because whatever we say to ourselves is a manufactured story about ourselves as being born somewhere. Because the body does not have life of its own unless if it is animated by higher power, not just us, just also cats, trees, birds. Questions? Cindy, Abigail, I don't see the text because we're in a new window. If you write something.
Yeti,
Yes, yes.
I was thinking about Abraham, and in the Bible in Genesis we are presented to several characters. Let's say first Adam and Eve, and there are many stories, and there is Noah, which carries the world to another to the coming world, let's say, saves, let's say, the nefesh, and is able to transport this body, this human body, to the next world. And I am aware there is this term Bnei Noach, and like before the covenant, and there is this let's say this importance, in lack of better term, this distinction, um, from Abraham, starting in Abraham. Then we have the three patriarchs: Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and it is like it's like a point that marks the beginning of the tradition. Let's say. I was just wondering, Yeti, why in Abraham it begins, why he is the first father or patriarch and not Adam or Noah or uh, anyone else before Abraham.
Thank you for the question. It's a beautiful one. The story, in a way, what the Bible or the Torah opens and says that there are 26 generations from Adam to Moses, 26. Like the value of the name of being, Havaya. So the being, in a way, manifests itself through 26 generations. Why Abraham considered to be the patriarch? It's a very good question. Because he is not. He is not. He is not. It's a very good question. He is not the father of Isaac, for sure. Nobody can be a father. Also, nobody can be a mother. There's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful song I heard today, this morning, by Vashti. She had few albums in the late 60s, 70s, and she issued another album 3 decades after her children grew up. And she said that she noticed that the relation to the children, she noticed that, so to speak, as a mother, she catches only the shell. She says a very beautiful line there, that she understands that the children now going into deep waters or deep sea, and what she is remaining is with the shell. Her all perception, this is not everyone admitting this, but the parent cannot have a relation to the child, because a parent always will relate to the child as an object. And connecting back to Abraham, he is not father. If you notice the whole speech, if people see very clearly through the Torah, his voyage to become a great father, I will make you to a great nation. You remember this, Lech Lecha, leave the place of your father, your homeland. I will make you. The story of a making, everything fall on its face. If people really read the Torah, not as themselves, as future kings, everything fall on its face. I will make you the father of a great nation. Many nations will proceed you, blah, 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 blah. Everything falls. He is not the father of Isaac. He did not create a love. Moreover, Jacob is not the son of Isaac. Again, let's open it. Jacob is not the son of Isaac. And if you go deeper, you can see that if you abstract the name mathematically, all of them are expressing the mode of being in different levels and numbers. Why do we say that Jacob is not the son of Isaac? First, we say that Isaac is not the son of Abraham. Now we say that Jacob is not the son of Isaac. If you remember, Rebecca did not conceive for 20 years, and Isaac was praying. He was praying for her, not for him to have children. If you pay very much attention to the verse in the Bible, he was praying for her to have children, not for him to be a father, because he can't. He was binded. He was restricted from space and time, so to speak, by binding him. So she conceived Rebecca with twins, Jacob and Esau, but they are not his children. So do you see? If you see very, very, very deeply, they are called patriarch, but they are not. So again, Isaac is not the son of Abraham. He's coming through the laughter of Sarah, the promise. Jacob is not the son of Isaac. And Joseph is not the son of Jacob. Even Jacob gives him the new name, Ben Porat, Yosef, the son of Porat. And if you follow all of those names, look at the letters, abstract them as numbers, each and one of them expresses mathematically another mode of being. This is not a story of a family. And there's another way to read the word patriarch. In Hebrew, we say avot. Av is a father. Avot, fathers, or people usually translate it to patriarch. But Av is also, it means a will. Ratzon. So through those names, through what is happening in their life, you see something else which is coming, which is not them, which is not the drama. Because what hooks people to the Bible? Usually the drama. The drama finds itself all the time in synagogues, in the churches, in the chapels. It's a lot of drama. But it's not about the drama at all. This is the deconstruction of the drama. It's not about the drama at all. If you follow it very, very clearly, you see Isaac is praying for Rebecca. He doesn't need children. He is not from here. Her name Rebecca, Rivka, it means many. Rav, like rabbi. Rav is many. This is why he's praying for Rebecca, for the many, not for himself. Yes, through Eliezer, not even himself. Isaac has nothing to do with the manifestation, not to get married, not to have children, nothing. He never left the land of Canaan, the land of the one. land of Canaan, the value of Canaan, as Weinreb says, is 190. The value of Egypt in Hebrew, Mitzrayim, is 380, like twice. The ratio between Canaan and Egypt is 1 to 2. Isaac never left the land of Canaan, unlike Jacob that moved to the house of Laban and then moved to Egypt. Abraham came from Ur Kasdim, went to Haran, and then was approaching Egypt. Isaac never left the land of Canaan. He was binded to the land of the one. So therefore he did not leave the land to look for a wife. It is opposite. It is really opposite to what people perceive and read the Bible. It's just opposite. They aren't the fathers of the children. They aren't. Questions? It is only that the human mind or the brain makes the story about parents and children. Like Eve says, when she's like giving birth, I bought a man from God. Before there was no manifestation. Now there is manifestation, and comes a story with a manifestation. And we are telling ourselves the same stories. Eve, Chava, 19, the value of Chava is 19. This is time. 19 is the sum of the years that, because there are two calendars, there's like solar calendar and there's a lunar calendar. Every 19 years, they collide together. Let's say if someone was born, let's say in 1st of August, and it was Aleph of Av, only after 19, those two, date will come together, the solar and the lunar. So Eve, in a way, is a manifestation of time. And if you want to say experience, Chava from Chavaya, from experience. Experience is manifested in time. So all the stories that we tell ourselves about family, about birthday, about who was born first, who was the brother, all of this is manufactured story. And to walk with, I heard a conversation 2 days ago. Someone asked, how can I, elder citizen in America, he asked how to have a liberty from family members. And someone says, change your last name. But to walk, why do I bring this question or this episode? To walk with such a construction site of families and family members and the stories and meeting them every holiday. In America also, in Europe, people meet maybe once a year in Christmas. Yes. Here it's much more intensive every Shabbat and every holiday, and the holidays are much more concise along the year. And there's also weddings and bar mitzvot and like bat milah and parties. And to walk with such a, good morning, Fernando, to walk with such a constructia, a false construction on the back, on the head, like I'm a part of this family, I'm a part of this story, I'm a part of this conglomerate, and Whenever I wake up in the morning, I think about this, about that, about this wedding. Who needs this? This is such a heavy and unnecessary story to carry because for real, there is no identity. Identity is something that we, in a way, adopt or we were taught or we were attached to. Identity carries a lot of weight after its back. Why to walk with such heavy identity? It's not real. It's not real. Questions? The story about myself is a constructed story. There is nothing as myself. Nobody has the ability to move or to live or to be animated by its own powers or source. So everything is constructed reality. Yes, yes. This is what Luria explained, Cindy, about the spheres. He says he explained this verse better to have a near friend. A near friend is Yesod. If you look at the spheres, Fernando, it's better to have a near friend than a far brother. Yes, a near friend is Yesod. A far brother is Chesed. Why far? Because Chesed is far away from Malchut, and Yesod is much closer. This is a friend. Yes? Usually, brothers and family members, they don't have the same qualities, but let's not go into it at the moment. You can also unmute and ask questions if you wish. Fernando, new friend, Jill, Abigail, Cindy, Yanis. You can unmute and speak. You can open your flute.
Eti,
Yes,
Eti,
Felipe. Yes, Felipe.
just just one more remark on the poetry about Abraham that since we are in it, caught my attention, and I would like to just say to mention it. It's beautiful because there is this line that speaks about. Let me find it. Adamant is Abraham, completely self-possessed. He speaks to God as if a man and never stops to rest. As I felt it, it was about. It was before he realized that the resting was sacred, let's say, or it was necessary, and this ongoing seeking for something that we never catch, and he didn't have a rest. He didn't could enter in this realm of sitting, of taking a time to rest, and I thought this was remarkable.
Thank you for this uh, comment because I did not see this until now. I was just writing. I did not notice this. Yes, the seventh day for rest. Yes. Felipe, can you read Fernando's question, please? Can you read it? Oh, anyone?
Sure. Um, from an intersubjective perspective, can you imagine how many voices from family ancestors which wish to speak through our flute, transgeneration ideas and traumas and expectations?
Can you imagine, if I can imagine, how many voices? If I can imagine. Fernando, can you speak about that? It's interesting, the question. You feel that you are a flute, Fernando? You have to check everything that come into your mind is self-inquiry to see.
If I may,
Yes.
uh, it's interesting because we carry these, let's say, luggage of ancestors and family stories and even DNA and such things. And in
Yes.
a way, if I understand or what I felt about what Fernando said, it's that we can't help being this flute for ancestral stories or
Yeah, but we are not
uh,
yeah, it's very good. It's very good how you put it because we are not the flute of our ancestors. Like you say, there is a carrying of DNA which we did not decide. Nobody's in the past, let's say in the evolution, decided on the appearance of gene or a DNA in us. And we are definitely not the flute of our families, their history, their episodes, whatever. We're not. We are not.
it's interesting yet because it's very common sometimes in families they say, let's say, in couples, you are acting like your mother, you are acting just like your father or brother or whatever. But it's interesting to think that it's the father also acts like his father and so on and so on. There is no ending for this line, there is a, it's not personal, we are not acting like our fathers, but we are acting like whatever fathers, the ancient one. So it's just a perspective, it's interesting.
Thank you. Fernando, we're definitely
Hello,
not the
mate.
flute.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom, shalom, Shabbat shalom. How do you
Hello,
do?
Philippe. I'm fine. I'm sorry if I'm walking with the kids, so maybe I don't know if I will be able to explain what I was trying to say, but I was just trying to say that we need to be conscious to avoid it. Just as you said, when you are too attached to your family history, you think that you need to fulfill the expectations that sometimes are from another generation as well.
Hmm.
So what I was saying is that it seems foolish to fulfill expectation that was from another generation as well, from people that are not even here,
Yes, yes.
and you feel the heaviness. I am from this family, so I need
This is a
to fulfill
story. Yeah,
just
yes.
this. So if you are conscious about this, you can avoid it. This was the,
Or
the idea.
you're
You
not a
can
product
release
of,
it.
yes, you're not a product of your family. No one here Yes? Is not a product, is not a fruit of his family. Do you understand? No one here is a fruit or a product of his family. No one. No one. No one. If we are a flute, we are a flute of the source, but not of the family or the jobs or whatever. We are not the fruit of the family. This is a story. Yes, yes, Felipe.
Sorry, there's noise here. I know we're out just finishing, but I guess there is sometimes there are um, family members, uh, let's say grandparents, grandmothers, or mother, father, whatever, that are indeed friends. There are sometimes we have this great sense of love about our family. Sorry, it's noisy. And just to say that in a way, these family members that we care about and we feel really, really close, uh, they are in the same category of the friends. We are friends of them.
Yes, but not products. Yes. All the story about families. Yes. Families.
Yes,
Do you understand?
yes, sure. Like Cindy just wrote, "Friends of the Soul,"
Friends of the soul.
because it's not what I try to say. It's not a problem. You do not, as I feel, you do not have to deny your friends in family, but just realize that there's no hierarchy, there's no ownership, but friendship. Try to see friendship at first.
Thank you, Felipe. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Yanis, Jill, Fernando, new friend, Abigail, Cindy. Wishing you a very beautiful Shabbat and beautiful week to come. Hope to see you here soon on Monday. Toda and Shalom. And Felipe, when the song is ready, everybody will be happy to hear you sing it. Thank you so much. Toda and Shalom.